Hey, Beetle Dustino, coming at you with another video. I want to always start off in thanking all my subscribers. Thanks to the new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and do hit that notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. I do try to release about a couple videos a week. Today, I'm going to start a new little segment to my channel. Of course, I've been saying I do kind of want to show some of my collection, and I thought this would be kind of a fun way to do it. I know when I watch other people's videos, I always see their collection sitting behind them there, and I'm always kind of curious like what's on each of those spines. I think I recognize that one, and I think I got that in my collection too, and I'd imagine quite a few of you have been doing that too over time. These ones are pretty easy to see, but I got thinking we'll just do a little segment and we'll cover what's on the rack. And as you can see, this rack's empty, so we're just going to go down the rows here and just show you rack by rack, section by section, what I've got going on there. So got a few videos to do that with here. Yeah, so we'll kind of show the CD collection, and we'll also be doing another one too, kind of its companion video series called What's in the Box. We'll just talk about each individual box set, kind of give it a little recognition, go through it a little deeper dive than I have been on some of the other ones where I'm also talking about so many other topics. So some boxes that I've covered already, some you haven't seen yet. So, but yeah, just kind of upcoming, and we'll start this episode 1, I guess, of What's on the Rack with this section. So sit back and enjoy. So this section, as I've kind of put Beatles up top and Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, Ringo, Beach Boys, so forth and so on. And I've kind of put everything just kind of release order, prioritizing, of course, studio albums, going into live albums, going into compilations, singles, whatnot. Anyways, we'll slowly kind of go through the list here. Obviously, the DVDs kind of squeezed in here. So yeah, we'll start with section 1 here, I guess we'll call it. And this is primarily going to be Beatles, primarily going to be the 87 releases on that. I have kind of included in, remasters or remixes that have came out since too, kind of put them in just with their album, their proper album there. But anyways, the first one will be Please Please Me. And I'm going to go through these fairly quick. I'll just show you the front and the back. I'm not going to go through the books or anything. I'll open it up and show you the disc. This one is a earlier release. I don't see the Apple label anywhere. That's kind of one indication. And this is interesting. This is a West German release. I suppose they did designate that back in those days as West Germany and East Germany. But yeah, West German release on this one. I had collected all these. I've told the story before. It's kind of slowly over time, and I had built up my collection just, popping into Target or Record Shop or whatever, and just kind of slowly buying one, being I was a teenager buying them, still in high school and that, part-time jobs. And just, when I had a little spare money, I'd probably get a new disc here and there. And I'd had a nice collection, which would have all been US releases and that. Unfortunately, I gave them to my sister and brother-in-law for my nephews to enjoy and them to enjoy too. My brother-in-law was a fan, and unfortunately they did separate, and somehow the disc ended up with him. I've kind of regretted handing them over and slowly off of eBay and such been rebuying the albums. So I've got kind of a eclectic mix here now where I probably had later issued, because I would have been buying them in the 90s, mid 90s on, so probably a little later issued versions. Now I got probably some earlier versions and even some from other countries, because I was just whoever's got the cheapest one on eBay type thing. That looks like it's in good shape. But yeah, of course we had Please Please Me first. We obviously got With the Beatles next. And I can see right off the bat, this one is a later version, and this is a US version too. Show you the disc there. That side of the book. And yeah, you can see the Apple label there up in the corner there. So yeah, I guess that's one thing I've heard to kind of tell if you got an earlier version or not, is if it's got the Apple label or not. And this would be a much later pressing here. And correct me if I'm wrong on that too. It's just kind of what I've heard on that. But of course, the next one, of course, Hard Day's Night. And these first 4 albums were done in mono on this original set here. This one's one of those interesting ones with the silver goes all the way into the center there. And this one, of course, is a US one and earlier pressing. And of course, next we got Beatles for Sale, the last one of the monos. There's the disc and the inside there. And yeah, this is a later pressing one too with the Apple logo I can see there. This is another copy of it. Somehow I ended up with two. I do believe they're both US copies, but I believe they're from different pressing plants from what I figured out. I'll keep two in my collection, I guess, for now, just whatever. Next up, of course, we got Help. This would be the first one that was in stereo of these original CDs. And this one is a US version and an earlier version too. I'm not seeing the Apple logo anywhere. Of course, this one was remixed by George Martin when these came out in '87. This one and the next one. This one, my jewel case has got a little bit of a crack there. No big deal. And I just realized some of these might be in my car. Like this one. I believe I just listened to it literally the other day. So unfortunately I can't show you the disc on that one. Drive my car in my car. That one was also an earlier pressing US, no Apple that I spotted on it. This next one's probably in the car too. This one is also a US pressing, but a later one with that Apple logo down there. And yep, it is in my car right now. I think that's on deck next, as a matter of fact. So, and this next one's an interesting one. I did kind of go out of my way to find this when I saw that there was kind of a variant on it. I really wanted to get this for my collection. This one is a European pressing, and this is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Those of you in the know, this is the slipcase issue. I believe these only came out in Europe. I think I might have this disc in my car too, because I was kind of wanting to keep the, yeah. So I believe it's like a Belgium pressing or something. Oh no, made in the UK. It does say made in the UK. But for some reason the disc said something different. So this one, they did really kind of a cool thing. On the disc here itself, it's just a simple little, with the album cover and the back there showing the who's where. It doesn't fold out or anything. But that's because in the slipcase, you got this thicker book. And it's pretty similar to what I think came in the '87 in the standard issue, just a little more expanded, and it's got the cutouts at the end here and such. And of course, I think the standard liner notes had that in it too. But I don't know, I saw about this and I just thought that it just looked cool. I just wanted to get a copy of it. I know it's nothing mind-blowing, but I thought it'd be fun to add to the collection. Yeah, those of you in Europe and that probably not that impressed by that, but I thought that was pretty cool with the inner sleeve and that. Of course, next up is the one that we're used to here. And yeah, this one is a US copy. Of course, Sgt. Pepper's got the red label, or the red printing on the label there. Yeah, there was the standard one. And then this one, I think you've all seen already, but we'll just take a quick look at it. This, of course, is the deluxe version of the anniversary mix. Not the super deluxe. Of course, the little book with it. I'm not going to go through the book per se, but of course, got the little folio here that would have the disc in it. The disc is in my car yet. Yeah, of course, the 2017 deluxe version of the anniversary set. Next up, we got Magical Mystery Tour, of course. Again, a US pressing on this one. And a little later pressing with the Apple logo there. And also in my car. Should have thought about that with this. Now, of course, next up we got the White Album, and I got several versions of it.
That's a fascinating little gadget. It's going to replace CDs soon, so I'll have to buy the White Album again.
Didn't realize at first. I always thought it just came in the fatty box, but there was an initial release of this that did come in two separate jewel cases. And here it is. And I made sure to seek out one of these copies too, because I kind of like having different variants of all of it. I'm interested in the physical media. I'm interested in all the different releases that they did. So I know it's a little ridiculous, but I thought it was kind of fun to find this when I heard about it. And these I also got in my car, but as you can see, it is numbered like the original records were. And unlike any of the CDs, aside from the anniversary of the Super Deluxe set, but yeah, just individually done. I believe, and it did have the white backing there. And here's disc 2. Yeah. I ordered it online. It looks like it came from, I left the sticker in there of the store it came from. And yeah, there you can see disc 2. Still on the white album here. Now here is what I thought was the only version of it, the fatty box, fatty jewel case. Of course, there's the label on that. I do like that I get to show you the label on this one. The book in there. And disc 2 there. And of course the white, this one looks like it's yellowed a little, but that's to be given over time on these. Hard to believe how old these already are. And then the next one up, another one, I guess I didn't really know about this one either until I got doing some further research. I don't know how this one slipped by me. It might be because I think they were only available in maybe the UK and Europe or just UK. But the 30th anniversary edition, these are a little difficult to find in good shape. This was one of the better shaped ones I found. I'm going to leave in my sleeve there it's got the clear plastic inner sleeve, which you can tell is quite yellowing, and this is what's hard to find. It's hard to find. It's easy to find the disc, but finding with that inner sleeve there, or the outer sleeve, I should say. But yeah, here's the disc, a little better view of it. And this is kind of a mini LP type replica, complete with the foldovers and the top loading, which is really cool. And of course, it does got the number on it, like originally too. I believe it's just the 2009 the 1987 remaster. And they did feature all the little goodies in here, right down to the black inner sleeve. I did put it into the rice paper there. Of course, the Apple label on it. This was a nice little package. I think I would have bought this back in the day had I known about it. They even did miniaturized pictures here, the pictures of the guys. And I believe they got a miniaturized poster too. I'll pull out disc 2 on the other side here. Of course, like I said, top loading. There's disc 2 on the cut Apple. Really crisp looking printing on this too. So they did a really nice job. And yeah, of course, finding these not only with the outer sleeve in good shape, or at least halfway decent shape, but finding them with the posters and the pictures too. And the sleeves, the inner sleeves, can be a bit of a challenge. I know when I was seeking this one out, I really had to hunt. I believe I did this one off of Discogs. I wasn't going to trust eBay. But I found it at a very decent price, and I'm very satisfied with the shape it's in. And yet another copy of the White Album. This time the 50th anniversary. This is the White Album and the Easter demos. Of course, I showed you in my one video, and I do got the album out of there right now. Also in the car. Of course, it does come with the nice little booklet in there. And next up, of course, we got Yellow Submarine. This one's an earlier pressing, US pressing also. And also in my car. I got my little Case Logic case just packed full there, trying to listen through to everything. And here's one I got a double of too. I got Abbey Road twice here. But they're both US copies, but this one's one of those earlier pressing. I don't see the Apple logo. This one's actually in the tray, not in my car. And here is that newer pressing. As you can see, the Apple there. And there we go. And you have more Abbey Road. Of course, the anniversary edition one again. Oh, I'll hold it a little better so you can see the banner there. The deluxe version. 2 CD. Of course, with the book and the little folio. I'll just show it to you quick. I'm not going to show you the disc on this one. And we're almost there. Getting down to the last few here. So, of course, next we got Let It Be. Yeah, this one's an earlier pressing one, too. And I believe this one's a US. Yeah, this one is a US copy. And then I like to keep this one with the Let It Be, even though it is kind of a compilation. I think most people would consider it, but of course, it's Let It Be Naked. I feel this is as much kind of a story of the album, so I want to keep it with my other Let It Be albums. Flip that there so you can see the Fly on the Wall disc. There's 2 discs there. And then last but not least, in the first section here, we got the Let It Be Anniversary Deluxe Edition. Of course, with the nice book and the folio. And my hype sticker sitting there. I'm not gonna too much there with that. So, whew, yeah, there we go. First, what's on the rack video there. Hopefully that didn't go too long. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. I know I watch these videos and I'm always curious what people got going on there too. So, and of course that will be changing over time too. I don't know, this section I don't think will change too much. I think I've got pretty much everything that would go into that chunk of the rack there going with the order. I got everything. So these next sections though, changing all the time. So but anyways, there was the first edition on that. We'll wrap it up here. I'm glad everybody stuck along, and again, I'll just reiterate, if you like the video, please like, please comment, let me know what your thoughts were on it. Let me know if you got any of these copies too. I suppose most of you would on this one in particular. Well, at least some of the more interesting versions of it there with like the slipcase Sgt. Pepper's and the two jewel cased White Album and the 30th anniversary White Album too. But anyways, I'm Beetle Dustino signing off.